From the refugee release, that is Bad for Good with 19, that one going out by request to Serena tonight. And did you get your coffee, Chris?
I am midway through a cup of Kenya Thrash.
Oh, there you are. You got your coffee?
Yep. Got a head full of nose drops. So now you don't do nose drops, do you?
Well, I use what do I use? I use like Vicks Ultra Mist.
Oh, so is that the 12-hour shit or
yeah,
no?
the 12-hour shit, yeah.
That's what I use, the most high potent 12-hour
yeah,
shit.
it's for extreme congestion.
Yeah. Well, now, for the next like half hour or so, and do you get this where like your eyes feel like they're popping out of your head because your nasal passages open up wider than they're supposed to? Because you have like because you have a cold, and so your nasal passages, they close to protect you.
Yeah,
that's what they do. But now they're being forced open by this fucking chemical. So now for the next like half hour until I get used to it, my eyes just feel like kind of like if you've been out in the sun too long and you get sunburn on your face. You know how your eyes feel fucked up for a little bit?
Right.
That's how I feel right at this minute. Just all bleh.
Yeah. So, yeah, I periodically have to take that just because I just have such bad allergies that I just get all stuffed up, and that's the only thing that'll just help me breathe again.
Right.
So anyway, well, I don't know if you've seen this or not.
Probably not.
But apparently the former Anthrax guitarist Dan Spitz.
Oh, of Red Lamb fame.
Yeah.
All right.
And an unlikely co-conspirator in a new music project, Dean Castronovo, formerly of Journey.
Wait a minute. Dean Castronovo and Dan Spitz?
Yes.
Isn't Spitz like hardcore religion guy now?
Yes, he is.
Is Dean now? Is that how Dean got clean through God?
Well, apparently Dean was always a God man. He just slipped for a while.
How can you be a God man and a heroin addict?
I don't know.
What was his drug of choice? Was it heroin or meth?
I thought it was meth. I thought he was tweaking out.
He was tweaking on meth. That's right.
Yeah, and he got in a lot of trouble and got booted from Journey, and they brought Steve Smith back,
which is actually an upgrade. Although Castronovo can play too and sing.
And sing. He has a very Steve Perry-ish vocal.
Yeah, I saw him one year and he sang faithfully.
He did. He sounded really good.
He sounded better than Arnell did.
True.
He was definitely. I never understood why they got Arnell. They could have just threw Castronovo out there. Of course, I guess maybe the meth thing would have probably screwed things up a little bit, but yeah, that guy's talented. But wow, Dan Spitz and Castronovo.
Yeah, kind of a weird pairing, but apparently Castronovo supposedly is back on the straight and narrow.
Okay.
So former Anthrax guitarist Dan Spitz is now putting together a new thrash band with ex-Journey drummer Dean Castronovo.
Okay.
A thrash band.
Doesn't make with a guy that was in Journey.
Yeah. And wasn't he in Bad English too?
In Bad English, I think. Yeah. And he had that project with Jack Blades, the Revolution Saints.
Right, exactly.
That sounded like Night Ranger.
Sure.
So, yeah, I can see him being a thrash drummer.
Yeah, he's more of a classic rock, classic metal guy,
Yeah.
But supposedly he's working with Dan Spitz on a thrash project.
Okay.
Spitz, a born-again Christian and a Messianic Jew. Very strange combination, once again.
Okay.
One believes that they killed Christ. The other one believes that he had it coming. I don't know. Kind of strange, but
a little bit.
who frequently cites his faith as an influential component in his life, said Castronovo has arrived to complement my thrash riffs.
Okay.
It just got real, people. All blessings and prayers are welcome for our new ministry and band.
Oh boy, a ministry and band.
Our new ministry and band.
So do you have to sit through a sermon to get to the tunes?
Well, they may be ministering to the people through their music.
Okay, or maybe not. Maybe this is a new thing.
It could be.
Maybe you see like the band play for a half hour, and then he does like a
He does a sermon on the mount.
Yeah, a little sermon while they pass the plate around for some extra funds.
Sure.
And then encore of an Anthrax tune, Bring the Noise, and whatever Castronovo, and a Journey song. Faithfully. Sounds like a cool idea.
Sure. Castronovo, who had given his life to Christ in 1985.
Well,
added, "It's going to be a powerful statement for Christ." I would have said it's a powerful statement for Christ's sakes. And for music in general.
Man. How do these guys... I don't know Dean. I've interviewed Dean once. I vaguely remember meeting him somewhere. I think at Journey. Was he drumming for Journey?
Yes, he was when you went back and talked to Jerry. No. When you remember, you and I went to see Peter Frampton and Journey.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you got to go back.
That's right, and he was the drummer then.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've met him. I don't know the cat at all, and to make any aspersions about him as a person or whatever. I don't know him, but man, how do you justify publicly to get into meth, but still try to claim God? What do you claim? That you fell away from God?
Yeah, you probably
back.
Maybe.
I just have such a problem with that.
Well, this is the reason why I brought this to the show, because I knew that this would kind of, rub you the wrong way a little bit.
Yeah, well, and you know me, dude. I mean, it's no secret that I have the theology degree, so I've studied religion a little bit. Not that I'm an expert by any means, but I have studied it enough to get a fucking piece of paper for the wall. That being said, I just, when you tell a story like this, it almost seems like you're devaluing religion.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, it's always there if I need it.
Yeah, well, I can go fuck up and then come back and be welcomed in as if nothing ever happened,
Yeah, but then for people that do fuck up a lot, look, I don't think that Dean Castronovo started doing fucking meth in 2013, the same year he fell out of Journey, or whatever year it was, 13, 14, whatever it was. I'm sure he was doing it for a while, right?
Sure.
So it was a Jesus of convenience. But to me, it's like, well, and this, again, only my opinion, but it always seems to me like people use the religion to justify that they're not fucking assholes. They don't ever... If you truly were a believer, you'd never go off the deep end with meth. You just wouldn't do it. But if you're having fun, you're on tour and you're out partying, and somebody throws you some fucking meth and you crunch it up and snort it or whatever the fuck, you're keeping your Jesus thing as convenient. Well, as long as I say a couple of Hail Marys or I ask forgiveness, I'm okay. It just seems weak. It seems like you don't have enough inner strength to deal with yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Well, see, here's someone, and I'm speaking of me, who was brought up in a very conservative religious background household.
Sure.
People who supposedly have a religious bent, especially in, what do you want to call a Protestant style religion?
Uh-huh.
If they truly were indoctrinated in their religious belief,
right,
chances are they would not be drumming for Journey.
Yeah, probably.
You're not, in at least the way that I was brought up, and I'm not saying the way that I was brought up was right or wrong or anything. I'm just saying from that belief system,
yeah,
chances are you're not going to be involved in rock and roll.
Yeah, probably not.
And the thing is that a guy like Nico McBrain from Iron Maiden,
sure,
he's another one of the guys that, he's this devout, born-again Christian and this and that, but he's in one of the biggest heavy metal bands in the history of metal.
Right. Now, how do they justify that? Because their message isn't always.
Well, see, that's the whole thing. And it's just like, well, I live a positive life and I do this and that. But the thing is if you were really, truly dedicated to your faith,
yeah,
you probably wouldn't even be involved with that lifestyle at all. Not that you're doing something wrong by sitting behind the drums, but you're still associating with something that could cast a negative light if you are trying to present this upstanding Christian belief system.
Sure. Well, if you truly have belief, too, and this is with Christianity, the one that I know the most about, if you truly are a true trying to live a Christian life, then you would never get into any of that stuff in the first place, because all you do is commit to God.
Exactly.
That's all you do. You don't find hobbies or whatever. That's it. Like I believe the Striper guys are committed to their Christianity.
Yeah, but the thing is all their music is very positive.
Sure. Well, messages. It's all within the message.
Exactly.
It's all within the message. And that is the truest of the Christian belief system, is that you always are working toward, first is yourself, you're, giving yourself to Christ, and then delivering the message of Christ to others, which is the two biggies, in Christianity. So, and that's what Striper does. Guys that are just like, yeah, you know what, I'm out there partying, but, but I go to church on Sunday. No, you're fucking fooling yourself. If you truly believe what the book teaches you, then you're fooling yourself that you're going anywhere.
Exactly.
You're going in the dirt, pal.
Exactly. Spitz and his ex, Candy, Candi. It's a nice, yeah, that's a stripper name if you ask me, Candy.
Interesting that a meth addict was dating a girl named Candy.
Well, this is Spitz.
Oh, sorry. Sorry about that,
Spitz
Dan.
and his ex, Candy.
Oh, Candy.
Filed for divorce in early 2015, 3 months to the day after his arrest for domestic violence.
Whoops. That doesn't sound very Christian-like.
Wasn't that the story that we covered a while back where his chick or somebody lived like in northeastern Indiana or something like that?
I don't know. Maybe.
I think we did this story on that. The now 54-year-old musician was arrested at the couple's then home in Lake Worth. Oh, this is Florida. When Candy's mother called 911 to report he was trying to choke his wife.
Whoops.
The charges were eventually dropped, but Candy said she and the rocker were calling it quits after 9 years and the birth of a autistic twin boys.
Oh, boy. He's not... Wasn't he like a master watchmaker?
Yeah, he made watches, I believe.
It was like some masterful watchmaker or something,
yeah,
wasn't it?
Yeah. In 2009, Spitz underwent open heart surgery to repair a main artery in his heart that was said to be almost completely closed.
Jesus, this guy's not living the good life.
Spitz took part in a reunion of Anthrax classic lineup in 2005 and 2006, but left the band after Anthrax split with singer Joey Belladonna for the second time.
Right.
Back in June of 2015, Castronovo was arrested and charged with physically abusing and harassing his now ex-fiancée, Deidre. 2 weeks later, a rape charge was added to his indictment, and the charges led to his dismissal from Journey in August of 2015. And in October of that same year, he accepted a plea deal and was sentenced to 4 years of supervised probation, pleading guilty to 2 counts of fourth-degree assault, 2 counts of menacing, 1 count of coercion, and 1 count of unlawful use of a weapon.
Jeez, what's the name of the band? The Wife Beaters? Holy smokes.
Birds of a feather, I guess, huh?
My goodness, this is not the most Christian story I've ever heard.
Yeah, well, they've come back and they're here to preach the good word.
Well, I'm sure the pastor took them back in and said, you know what, we're going to have to work on this, but Jesus still loves you.
Sure.
Okay.
Dean Castronovo tweeted out, "Gonna be a powerful statement for Christ, brother."
Sure is. beat Mary Magdalene senseless.
Wow. So there you are, two convicted. I don't know if they're felons. Would you consider them felon? I don't know if they're felony.
They're just two wife-beating Christians.
I guess.
That's all. Nothing wrong with that. Everybody's got to have a hobby.
Yeah.
It's either beating your wife or playing Thrash. Isn't that one of your hobbies?
Not at all.
Which one do you do? Do you play Thrash or do you beat your woman?
Neither nor.
Neither, dude. See, you're not living a good life. Apparently,
apparently, I'm not.
You are not going to heaven, my friend.
Jeez. Well,
there he is, fixing a watch.
Let me see what we got going on here. Yep, there he is.
He's fixing his watch.
Yeah.
It'd be funny if that was like some cheap Timex or something. You know, it's not like a Rolls or something. It's like a fucking whatever, a movement watch. Some cheap piece of shit.
So is that Dan Spitz and his ex-lady right there?
It looked like her, or looked like him. I don't know if that's the chick or not, but she had some heavenly bodies.
Yeah.
Nice rack.
Wow. I don't know, man. I guess I don't quite understand domestic violence and, you know, people who stalk their exes and,
yeah,
you know, it's just like, I don't get it. I guess I've always been one of those people that when things are over for me, it's over.
Yeah, well, one, you're the dumpee usually, or the dumper, not the dumpee, aren't you?
Yes and no.
You pretty much tell them to hit the street. And even if you don't, you're ready for them to hit the street.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't think you've ever been blindsided.
No, never.
Yeah, and that's a part of it. When you're blindsided, you know, when you're blindsided, you go through that phase where you feel like, well, I can fix this. You know, because that's what we do as guys. We fucking fix things.
Yeah. You know what the thing is I don't care.
Well, that's it. Well, you don't now, but you know, I mean, a part of it too is you've really never been in a very, very long relationship.
No, the longest relationship that I've ever been in has been about 5 years.
Yeah, that's what I mean. You've never been in a really long one.
And it's never even been like a cohabitation situation either, so.
Mm-hmm. When you've been into something for a long time, 8 years, 10 years, 23 years.
Yeah.
Whatever it is. You know, and look, I'll only speak for me. Everybody can fucking give their own opinion on whatever. When I first got dumped, and it, you know, it wasn't completely a shock, but it was still somewhat of a real shocker. I spent a good year just not feeling right, not knowing, you know. It was what can I do to fix this? I've always been able to fix it before when we've hit rough patches. What am I missing that I'm not doing right? You know, to fix things. I spent months with that shit. And then I spent even more months with it's been so fucking long, I don't know how to be single. You know, and there's a truth to that, dude. You know, that's something you do not have. You know how to be single because you've been single since you were fucking, what, 21?
Well, 23. I mean, I got married when I was 20 and I was divorced by 23.
So 23 and you're what, 78 now. So, yeah. I mean, that's, you know, however many years. But there is a thing of just not knowing how to be single. And when you don't know how to do anything, think about it like a new job. You know that first week when you go into the new job? And you don't know what the fuck you're doing.
Right.
And like the first couple of days, you just sit there fucking staring at the clock, wishing that the time would go faster. And then they start giving you shit to do slowly. And then you spend the whole day trying to overdo it overly well, but then you don't know if you did it right, so you're fucking hoping you did it right. You know those stages of a new job?
Sure.
That's being single. And where you get the stalkerish mentality. Because if you're way uncomfortable with that and you can't adjust easily from that, then you try to fix what was there before, what was already working, sort of. And that's where that comes from. I'm not saying it's good. It's definitely not good. Believe me. The best thing that happened in my divorce was after about a year and a half, when I just was like, you know what, fuck that bitch, I'm done. And once I really felt that way, then I was like, okay, this is cool. Nobody fuck with me anymore.
Right.
I was like, hey, this is good, but took a while to get there.
Sure.
So I get it, and look, I don't know if I wrote about it in the book or not, but I had some of that weird shit, like not true stalkerism shit, but she when she moved out and moved in with the next dude, which was like literally the same day, like she moved out and into his place.
Mm-hmm.
Well, his place was like a mile and a half up the road, and I knew where it was. And I knew what he was driving, and I knew what she was driving. And I'm not going to lie to you and tell you I didn't do 50 pass-throughs a fucking week just driving up that street for no fucking reason.
It's called a drive-by looking.
Yeah, well, I did it a lot. I did it quite a bit. Just to, because there was a part of me that was like, well, I got to make sure she's okay, which dumb as that is, she's sucking another guy's cock, but I'm worried that she's okay, but there was a piece of me that had that, and there was a piece of me that was like, well, maybe if she sees me, she'll know I still care.
Oh, boy.
Stupid fucking logic like that. And I know it was stupid fucking logic, but
sure.
I'm telling you, dude, part of it, when you go through a bad breakup, and mine, I say it all the time. I mean, I literally wrote a book about a bad breakup. When you go through it, your mind ain't right. I mean, how many hours did you spend telling me, dude, just go fucking do something?
Yeah.
I mean, how would you say 100 hours that's all you said?
Easily.
You just listened to me bitch for a fucking half hour, and you were like, dude, get in your fucking car and go do something. Go to a show, go to a bar, go somewhere. I don't think you ever said go to a bar, but
yeah.
You were like, go to a show, go hang with your friends, go do something. Because I was sitting in the house fucking drinking my face away.
Yeah.
And believe me, and this is not a shock, but you weren't the only one telling me to stop, put down the bottle, and go fucking do something. One of the bigger stories I tell in the book was about the title Little Victories, which was Wardlaw coming over here, our good friend the Warlock, and literally dragging me out of my house. Like, he came over and said, we're going, because he was worried I was going to fucking drink myself to death.
Sure.
So he came over here, put me in the car, drove, listened to me whine the blues about, oh, my fucking life is over without her, like a fucking crying bitch, white knuckling down the highway. I remember distinctly looking at his fucking hands turning white because he was squeezing his fucking steering wheel so hard because he wanted to fucking belt me in the mouth and say, would you shut the fuck up?
And that guy had some bad luck, in his life. I think he had to split a house with some chick at one point, didn't he?
Not only did he have to split a house, but, dude, I guess I can tell this. I won't tell all of it, but he came to me. He was struggling to get a house because he just didn't make enough cash at the time to get his house. And you know how in my real life, I seem to know somebody in every field. I tend to know people in every field there is. I know somebody. So I knew somebody that would deal with somebody with less money. So I worked it out with him, helped him get his house all financed and whatever. He moved into the house with her, and they broke up like a month and a half later.
I know. I remember, because that was about the same time that you guys used to invite me down to the metal show periodically, and that was what was going on at that point.
Oh, he was not happy.
Well, how can any guy be happy about that?
Because he was stuck with this house, and and he couldn't afford the house in the first fucking place, and he was only getting the house because he was engaged, and they were going to be starting their new life, and what a fucking disaster. I mean, a fucking disaster.
Mm-hmm.
But he worked through it. He actually ended up with he's one of, I don't know how many people you have. We'll poll this. I'll let you go first, actually. In your life, of anybody that you know in your life that's married, not dating, not engaged, married, How many happy couples you got in your world?
Can't name a one. Well, I can't. I won't say that. I have three. I have 6 siblings.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see here. 2, 3, 4, 5. No, I have 5 siblings, or 6 of us. 5 siblings. All of us have been married. 2 of us are divorced, so the other 3 are doing okay.
And they're happy?
As far as I know.
Okay. Family. My brother seems happy with his wife, and my dad died, so he can no longer get to the bad list. Do I count my mom, even though my dad is dead? Does that count or no?
Well, I mean, did they have a happy marriage?
Oh yeah, they were happy.
Okay, well then I guess that counts.
So I'll count my brother. My brother is happy with his current wife and probably will be forever. My mom was happy till the end with my dad. And let's see. Now let's go to the true married people that I think will make it. Matt and his girl will make it forever. They seem really fucking happy. And my friend Eric and Liz, who fucking, for whatever reason, likes to hate on me.
Yeah.
They seem really fucking happy, too. They seem happy with each other. And, wow. And I would say I'm about 50-50 with John and Stephanie. Sometimes I think they'll make it. Other times I'm like, oh boy, I wonder which one's going to stay in my fucking living room. I have those moments. Although less, I will say that has gone down a lot lately. That kind of noise has gone down very significantly in the last 6-8 months. So, I would say that they might. I mean, they should figure it out, but because they do sort of click, but and they don't. Good God, look out. So I'll say 2.5 of all my friends, and I probably have 15 sets of friends that are married.
Sure.
And I'll say 2.5 that I think will make it to the finish line.
Right.
So there we go.
Yeah, that's just not in the cards for me. After I was 23 and out of that one, I was just like, that ain't happening ever again.
Yeah, I don't even want it.
Nope, never again.
There's no. I think about it sometimes, like when I'm especially when I'm like third wheel at something, when I'm out, because my friends. Which I will say this is an absolute good for them, even though, I know it's uncomfortable for me. Not uncomfortable, that's the wrong word, but I get invited to shit that I shouldn't get invited to.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Sure, I get you.
Where it's like 8 couples and me. It's like, all right, I get this.
Yeah.
And I'm told, and I'm not saying that they do it and I don't know what I'm walking into. I mean, I certainly always know that it's going to be 8 couples and me, and I always have the option to call, Kelly or whoever to see if they want to go and, and fake that I'm a couple, but I don't want to do that. I wouldn't do that. That's not me. So I do end up at a lot of that stuff. And it's not uncomfortable, but it's like, all right, I know I don't belong here. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But none of it. There's not been one time when I've been in a situation like that where I've thought, you know what? Maybe I really do need to find that person.
Nah.
No. Fuck no. You know what? I like waking up in the morning, not having somebody nagging me that don't forget to fucking cut the grass today and, don't spill your fucking coffee on the... Fuck you. I'm going to spill my coffee wherever I fucking want.
Right.
Eat a bag of dicks, bitch.
Nice.
Somebody else's bag of dicks while you're at it. Get out of here.
Sure.
The only thing that's missing is the built-in puss.
Right.
That's the only thing that's missing.
Yeah, even if it was built in, wouldn't you get tired of it after a while?
Yeah, well, I guess. I don't know. It's handy, and you can take that any way you want to take.
I guess, but
it's handy.
Sure.
Although I ain't gonna lie, my iPod or my iPad with the Pornhub, it's not a bad replacement, really. Not a bad replacement. The porn is pretty good on the Pornhub. It does the trick, and then every once in a while, hook up with somebody, and that's it. You keep you keep a girl or two around that are willing to, give you a little here and there.
Sure.
Good to go.
Well, I know a guy that you got to meet that I'm a big fan of, and I'm very jealous of you of. Mm-hmm. Larry David.
Oh yeah.
He had, they had the show Curb Your Enthusiasm, right?
Right.
And he had that Cheryl Hines as his wife on the show.
Mm-hmm.
And she's a good-looking girl, right?
Sure.
And so on the show, they're married couple, old married couple. And she's like snuggling up next to him and stuff, and she's trying to coax him,
Right.
And he goes, not in the mood. She goes, it's been a while, what's the deal? He goes, took care of it earlier. She's like, why would you do that? And he goes, well, it's less hassle. Don't have to deal with trying to get you in the mood.
Yeah.
It's like, I've already taken care of it. Jeez, of course. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, I get it. I get that.
There is a, and especially when you're, I guess maybe you evaluate it a little more when you are single.
Right.
But, dude, I can think of times, and I'm going to word this very carefully. There are times I've been in relationships when, I just wanted to get laid. But you couldn't just go get laid.
Sure.
It was always like, you got to go in the kitchen, and, she's in there doing whatever she's doing in there, and you got to kind of do like the soft feel of her ass and play the fucking dumb games.
Yeah, you gotta show you're interested, and you have to get them in the mood, and you have to warm them up to the idea.
And she's like, and it's the same game every time. Once you've been in a relationship, hypothetically 23 years, once you've been in something that long, do you really have to go through the ordeal of, oh, what are you doing? Well, what do you think I'm doing, baby? Do you really have to go through that? Can't you just say, look, why don't you give me 10 minutes to suck my dick? That's what I need. I don't even need a really great blowjob.
Right. Just half blowjob, good handy.
I'm in the mood already. I promise you that I'm in enough of the mood that I won't take more than 10 minutes of your time. Just suck my cock for 10 minutes and fucking move on.
Yeah.
I'll bring the scope, you bring the mouth, okay? Come on. I mean, let's get this over with. Or she could do that too.
Sure.
I'm not saying that's only a guy thing. It could certainly be a type of a thing where the girl could say every once in a while, look, I need to get my pussy rammed. And we'll oblige. What would you rather do as a guy, dude? Think about it. If a girl really just needed to get laid and was willing to just go in the bedroom, take her clothes off, let you have sex with her for 20 minutes, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, and then fucking out the door, like at halftime of a football game. Like, wouldn't that be like the ideal thing?
Well, it would be, but it doesn't work that way.
No, because then because they don't even want the dick. What they want is that fucking attention and the cuddling and the, just hold me and make sure I feel good. Ah! And that, one, we don't like that. Guys don't like that. Even guys that say they like that, they don't like that. They're just saying that because they like the steady stream or you give them really good pussy or whatever it is. Guys really don't like that. If you asked a guy and a guy was honest, if they could get a blowjob at the halftime of a football game or spend 3 hours with you and have really great sex, I would bet 70-30 would take the blowjob at halftime.
Sure.
Don't you think?
Absolutely.
And that's, the girls miss the boat on this shit. They and we've talked about this before. There's so much value that they build into pussy, and there's just not that much value in it. It's fucking 3 inches of fucking moist meat. If you really want to look at it, that's what it is. It's 3 inches of moist meat. It's like a 3x6.
Sure.
It's a 3 inch by 6, 7 inch slot of moist meat.
Right.
And that's what they're putting all their value into.
Right.
A 3x6 fucking wet cave. It's like, stop it. It's just not that valuable.
Right. And then you go, where's my fleshlight?
Well, that's it. Dude, chicks are so easily replaced. That's the thing that and it could be that I'm single, but it could also be that it's 2017 now. I think that now more people are staying single because we've all figured out, and there's just been more innovation to make it so much easier to fucking replace a chick. You know what I mean? I mean, when we were 20 years younger and you were trying to jerk your dick and at the same time hold a fucking
magazine
Playboy up, and you're trying to hold it and you're trying not to put your hands in the wrong spots that you can see the little 1/10 of the fucking vag that you could see, and that was just hanging just slightly below that fucking tree that she had, that tree patch on her puss.
Sure.
And you're trying to hold it and jerk your dick with the other hand, and trying to see the tits, and in your mind you're trying to say, okay, well, this is what it would be really like if I really was fucking this chick. And you're trying to like put like a memory together of her tits bouncing, and all the dumb shit that you do when you're jerking your dick. That was hard that was hard to do in the 90s.
Sure, it was actually a process.
It was you had to really, I mean, it was guys that could just go in the bathroom with a jerk magazine and jerk their dick. Those guys were heroes to me, because I could never do that. I could never fucking get myself situated to where I was comfortable in a bathroom, sitting on a toilet, jerking my dick and holding a porn mag.
Right.
I could never do that. Dude, I was as sick as they fucking come. I go in the bathroom, lock the door, and fucking lay a goddamn towel on the floor so that I could fucking jerk off laying on the floor of the bathroom. That's what you had to do.
Wow, that's quite a visual.
Well, you had to do it, dude. What was I going to do? And there were just times, that I just wanted to get off.
Sure.
And didn't want the hassle of, well, let's do 10 minutes of making out, and then I'm going to eat your pussy for fucking 15 minutes, and you're going to suck my cock for 10, then I'm finally going to get some pussy an hour after I was in the mood for it. It's easier to just go jerk your dick. But now, especially with the invention of the iPad or mobile device, you can fucking, whatever it is that you want, whatever kink it is that you want, you can literally, you don't even have to imagine anything anymore. You want it, you fucking search it. You go to Pornhub and you fucking use the search and go, redhead big tits reverse cowboy. And you know what? You're going to get 500 videos of redheads with big fucking tits riding a dude reverse cowboy.
Right.
And you don't have to imagine anything anymore. You can see those tits bouncing around. You can see that pussy fucking stretched around the dick. And you can fucking imagine that that's you. It's all POV, as it's known in the porn world.
Sure.
And it is just easier. And if you're smart, you get a fucking iPad stand. Like my keyboard is like a little stand, so I don't even have to hold the iPad anymore. It's fantastic. Fantastic. I hate it for the person I sell this iPad to. Jesus Christ. That dude's going to get fucking pregnant. If it's a chick, she's going to get pregnant just from pregnant or taste salt from licking her fingers or some shit.
Nice.
Ugh. That's a gooey fucking pad.
So this whole conversation was brought out of two meth heads getting together for a thrash band.
Well, yeah.
Totally relatable.
Doesn't it all apply?
Yeah, of course. So good. Do you have anything on your mind, Chris Sagan? Is there something on your mind you want to share with the folks?
Well,
I've been pent up in the house for so long.
Well, it's been a week.
Yeah, there you go.
I didn't leave the house in a week. I guess that says something.
There you are.
I guess those 9 days since Stephen Piercy, I guess I got all worked up or something.
There you are.
So oops.
All right.